about a nation that once ruled the vast steppes of Central Asia with unmatched force. 3. Fearless warriors who challenged time and the course of history itself. Mounted on horses, enduring harsh winters and scorching summers without surrender. A name that would echo through centuries, inspiring both fear and respect. Born from a union of scattered tribes, rising as a great organized people. They were not just men, but a power, a story, a legacy in motion. This is the Mongols, a people destined to leave their mark on history. Friends, before moving further in the video, a small request. Please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to expand your knowledge. The Mongols were an ancient Central Asian people who, around the 9th century AD, settled in the vast grasslands and mountainous regions of present-day Mongolia. They were fully nomadic, relying on horses and hunting, and moved their dwellings according to the seasons. Initially, the Mongols were not a single unified people, but were divided into small tribes. According to historical records, the most important tribes numbered approximately 7. Number 1. The Borjigin tribe lived a nomadic life in the grasslands of central Mongolia. Temporary tents and herds were the center of their life. They were hard-working and justice-loving, but took part in conflicts to protect grazing lands and water. Religion, nature worship, and belief in spiritual destiny. Number 2. The Tatars were settled in northern Mongolia. Temporary huts, horses, and herds were the focus of their life. They were hard-working and straightforward, but quarrelsome over water and pastures. Conflicts sometimes became bloody. Religion, nature, spirituality, and tribal customs. Number 3. The Naimans were nomadic in western Mongolia, with temporary tents and animals at the center of their life. Hard-working and justice-loving. Yet they participated in conflicts and occasionally small bloody fights. Religion, nature, spirituality, sometimes influenced by Buddhism or Christianity. Number 4. The Karites lived a nomadic life in the grasslands of eastern Mongolia. Temporary tents and animals were the core of their daily life. They were hard-working and principled, but took part in conflicts over grazing lands and water. Religion, nature, spirituality, and tribal customs. Number 5. The Merkids were settled in northwestern Mongolia. Their nomadic lifestyle, temporary huts, and animals were central to life. They were hard-working and justice-loving, but sometimes quarrelsome over water or pastures. Conflicts could escalate from small disputes to bloody fights. Religion, nature, spirituality, and tribal customs. Number 6. The Uyghurs lived on the edge of western Mongolia. Nomadic, with temporary tents and animals at the heart of their daily life. They were hard-working and straightforward, but participated in conflicts over water or grazing disputes. Religion, partly Buddhism and nature spirituality. Number 7. The Urites led a nomadic life in the vast grasslands of central Mongolia. Temporary tents and herds were central to their life. They were hard-working and justice-loving, though minor disputes and conflicts with neighboring tribes persisted. Religion, nature, spirituality, and tribal customs. These tribes, under separate leaders, fought for survival, pastures, and power, and sometimes formed alliances. Each tribe had its own name, identity, and history, and at this time, they were not yet known collectively as Mongols. In the vast and endless grasslands of central Mongolia, where the thundering hooves of horses and the rustling of herds echoed every morning, a leader made his mark in the 9th century. His name was Bodonkar Monkhag, belonging to the Borjigin clan, one of the most powerful tribes of the time. Life was harsh. Winters were biting, summers scorching, water scarce, and hostile tribes always threatened. Yet, Bodonkar not only kept his tribe alive, but strengthened and united it. Each day was like a new battle, yet he led with wisdom, justice, and the trust of his people. The early days were challenging. Small disputes, Conflicts over pastures and the schemes of neighboring tribes tested him constantly. Bodonkar faced every challenge with patience, insight, and courage. Every evening, as the sun sank over the horizon, he would gaze across the plains and reflect on his decisions. Every herd, every horse, every watchful enemy taught him a lesson. His spiritual beliefs were rooted in nature worship and a faith in destiny. He valued natural phenomena, the spirits of animals, and the changing seasons. Every battle, decision, and journey was guided by rituals and spiritual insight. These beliefs strengthened the tribe and gave them courage in adversity. Bodonkar built strong political and social foundations within his tribe. His leadership cemented the Borjigin clan's reputation and provided guidance for future leaders. In every decision, on every battlefield, in every journey, he became a source of guidance and courage for his people. Yet, every peak carries challenges. Small disputes and internal opposition grew. Some tribal members displayed hunger for power, creating internal tensions. Bodonkar faced every crisis with bravery and wisdom, though age and continuous battles tested his resolve. Around 910 AD, Bodonkar Munkhag passed away. He was not only a leader, but a visionary who laid the foundation for a strong and united clan, paving the way for generations to come. After his death, in the late 9th and early 10th centuries, the Borjigin clan and Central Mongolian tribes faced a new test. A temporary unity existed, but each tribe largely acted independently. Small leaders, family factions, and local powers sought to strengthen their influence. The plains were vast but full of danger. Skirmishes, pasture disputes, and raids by neighboring tribes became daily challenges. Every tribe sought to protect itself and expand its influence. The Borjigin clan tried to maintain unity, but every decision, every campaign, every journey was fraught with difficulty. Internal opposition and thirst for power created tension. Some tribes expressed a desire for independence and began seeking new leaders. It was an era of testing power and wisdom. Every leader and tribesman sought to determine whose leadership was strongest and most reliable. Minor disputes grew, and signs of disunity appeared within the tribes. Spiritual beliefs and faith in destiny strengthened the people. These practices gave them resilience and maintained bonds within the tribe. Yet, external threats and internal conflicts brought new challenges each day. By the early 11th century, a new leader emerged across the vast, windswept plains of central Mongolia. His name was Kubul Khan, a rising force among the Borjigin clan. Born into a lineage of warriors and visionaries, he carried the weight of ancestral expectation on his young shoulders. From an early age, he displayed an unusual combination of intelligence, courage, and patience, a rare balance that would shape the destiny of his people. Within the sprawling network of Mongol tribes, partial unity existed, but complete cohesion and strong leadership were absent. Tribal disputes were common. Alliances were fragile and often temporary. Khubil Khan first dedicated himself to building trust among the clans. He traveled from one yurt to another, listening to grievances, observing the customs and traditions of each tribe, and showing that his leadership would be grounded not in brute force alone, but in fairness and wisdom. Each day brought new trials. The vast steppe was as unforgiving as it was beautiful. Threats from rival tribes, disputes over grazing lands, and internal opposition constantly tested his judgment. But Khubil Khan's approach was measured. Instead of responding with immediate violence, he sought understanding. He mediated conflicts, often sitting for hours under the open sky, discussing grievances with tribal elders while the wind swept across the endless plains. His ability to remain calm in the midst of tension earned him respect and gradually loyalty. Khubil Khan led not merely as a chief, but as a unifier. He combined courage with insight, wisdom with action. He understood that true leadership was not about imposing power, but about earning the confidence of his people. Villagers and warriors alike began to see in him not just a leader, but guiding presence, someone whose decisions reflected justice as much as strength. He was far-sighted and patient, qualities that would prove essential in a land governed as much by instinct as by strategy. Small disputes were never ignored, whether it was a quarrel over a stray herd of horses or a disagreement between two families over hunting grounds. Kubul Khan listened carefully, considered every perspective, and sought resolutions that honored tradition while promoting unity. Every evening, as the crimson sun dipped behind the horizon, he would climb to a hilltop, overlooking the endless sea of grass, contemplating the day's events and planning for the challenges that tomorrow might bring. His beliefs were deeply rooted in the natural world and in a profound faith in destiny. He observed the flight of birds, the tracks of wolves, and the patterns of stars, believing that nature itself communicated guidance. Animal spirits, seasonal shifts, and celestial phenomena informed his choices. Before each journey or battle, rituals were performed not merely as tradition, but as a source of spiritual strength and courage. Kubul Khan's people drew inspiration from these practices, understanding that their leaders' decisions were guided by both reason and the unseen forces of the world around them. During the height of Kubul Khan's leadership, every hoofbeat of horses and rustle of the herds testified to his resolve. The Borjigin clan, once fragmented and vulnerable, began to stand united. Neighboring tribes took notice, some seeking alliances, others watching cautiously from the periphery. Kubul Khan became a symbol of courage and stability, a figure whose presence alone brought a sense of order. Across the plains, his strategies, patience, and judicious handling of disputes laid the foundation for a more structured and resilient society. Yet, every peak is shadowed by challenges. Internal opposition remained a constant threat. Certain tribes chafed under his authority, seeking independence or testing the limits of his influence. Simultaneously, pressure from neighboring clans reminded him that the steppe was never static. Its balance of power was delicate and easily disrupted. Kubul Khan faced these challenges with a combination of intelligence and resolve. He used diplomacy where necessary, force only when unavoidable, and above all, maintained a vision of long-term unity that transcended immediate conflict. Each decision he made became a lesson, not only for his contemporaries, but for future leaders who would follow in his footsteps. Kubul Khan was more than a chief. He was a visionary who strengthened the Borjigin clan's influence and structured the tribal society in a way that endured beyond his lifetime. His leadership was not measured merely by victories, but by the cohesion he fostered, the trust he earned, and the enduring values he instilled. Life under his guidance was rigorous yet fair, disciplined yet inspired. His people knew that under Kubul Khan, their lives, herds, and future were in capable hands. Ultimately, at the end of his life, Kubul Khan left an enduring legacy in the hearts of his people, a legacy of wisdom, justice, and leadership that continues to symbolize power, unity, and resilience in Mongol history. The plains that once witnessed petty tribal disputes now bore testimony to the unifying vision of a leader who combined strength with insight, courage with fairness, and strategy with faith. Kubul Khan's story is a reminder that true leadership is measured not only in battles won, but in the hearts of those who follow, inspired to achieve greatness under the guidance of a wise and just hand. After the death of Kubul Khan, darkness once again fell over the Mongol plains. The brief unity among the tribes shattered instantly. The vast grasslands, once alive with organized herds and disciplined warriors, now echoed with the cries of clans chasing their own ambitions. Tribal stubbornness returned, rivalries ignited, and the pursuit of power became law. Small chiefs appeared everywhere, yet none could match Kubul Khan's greatness or authority. Bloodshed across the grasslands became routine. Valleys turned into battlefields. Rivers ran red with greed and vengeance, and tribesmen turned against their kin for pastures or revenge. Generations-old grudges flared, and chaos became companion of every family. The harshness of nomadic life, already testing endurance, was now worsened by constant strife. Hunger, bitter winds, and the threat of violence marked each day. Some tribes raided the Chinese borders, exploiting weakness, while others clashed with Tatars and Karites. The Mongol world resembled a turbulent sea, waves colliding endlessly. The steppe mourned the absence of Kubul Khan, its calm broken by storms, dust, and bloodshed. Yet, through all this turmoil, one clan remained intact, the Borjigin. Stretching from Bodonkar through Kubul Khan, this lineage preserved identity, heritage, and influence. Several family members assumed leadership after Kubul, but none held loyalty long. Still, the bloodline endured, quietly keeping hope alive. From this lineage emerged Yesugei, a figure marked by courage and wisdom. From youth, he led raids, excelled in diplomacy, and restored his family's reputation. Unlike other leaders who ruled through fear, he balanced strategy and strength, forging alliances and guiding his people. His household became a center of planning and leadership, preparing for the challenges of the harsh steppe. From Yesugei's household came a child destined by fate to change history. This child's birth marked the continuation of the Borjigin legacy and the beginning of a new era, one that would unite the Mongol tribes and reshape the world. Yesugei's life reflected the resilience and adaptability of his people, ensuring that the unity, traditions, and leadership once exemplified by Kubul Khan would survive the dark age that followed. Ultimately, the Borjigin line persevered. Through Yesugei's guidance and careful nurturing of the next generation, the seed of future greatness was planted. From this household came a child destined to unite the Mongol tribes under a single banner, whose vision and ambition would be unparalleled in steppe history. The child's birth was more than a continuation of a bloodline. It was the dawn of a new era, carrying forward the leadership, courage, and unity first embodied by Kubul Khan. Around 1162, this child was born and named Temujin. But these days of joy did not last long. Soon, Yesugei was poisoned by enemies, and his death once again left the family weak and vulnerable. Temujin's mother and siblings were left without support or protection. This was the moment when Mongol history stood at a pivotal turn. Chaos was at its peak. Yet from this very disorder emerged a leader destined to unite all under a single banner, Temujin, who would forever be remembered by the world as Genghis Khan. So, friends, that was the early history of the Mongols. From here, the era of Genghis Khan begins, and his historical documentary is already uploaded. If you want, you can watch the Genghis Khan historical video on our channel, and it will also be shown on the end screen. Thank you for watching, and to see more historical videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to like the video.